like ang president representan like jadi environment myself to like to like accept the whole situation in like after like for also like sampai just because like their actual goal might have been like the exact actual goal of the Marvel to then join us to like from the might have been supporting and making exactly safer for all part of all and they responsible for okay, my this was and the thing like when you get stepping into the and the I'm sitting in my then different that like then we don't get dog and everything is like that is back then for tomorrow it was president that was making my dog for tomorrow they were leaving that organization and like or tomorrow setting like I and like board that the state performance for put in that exist by the because like the later of like the organization is like that is and might also study for tomorrow to event and so like we might have made to confidence that like for tomorrow that they not the less of feeling that getting those so from like the list so as about the immediate of the and use for tomorrow to remove some of the lecturing place might have been what might have happened to the place might be good so then like for tomorrow that go through that the consequence of that trying to let it not start over might have been along the lines of less the plan of that the labor the problem everything which like those using the identification so might have involvement of the like the able to again the point that after like that's it and so like that is I mean that is not a minor sort of like motivation to that so they just said that to do it like the lead that is another one of like something like like the law of like transportation how like these they would talking with like the law of like transportation and like with them with to do it in like the state is like maybe and for that leader of like the organization in order to platform as members to that to think to right actually like the lead legend see first that's what you know future all of my dummy like photos of all my setting to some like person like film to get the display. Maybe like you know there. So for instance, the months them right now for like and the point of like for the thing for like Itachi taking on Itachi while and the people of Kizan they're taking on the Akuma as well as Corona like with that is the dominant. So it's the young the point that Ranagu will blame that like that an intense process that like going on within the country and because you like it ends up being like that in the past that when we like like when but the thing for that is that Australian about the state so extremely easy from at the end that country getting quick that way and including that like today as it's an electoral town that is what like that going to be that the thing of fraction of like that is like close point and at that point on the point that you are going to getting a value that around second shipping at the moment that you will be getting the value the numbers is going like something to be yeah showing up to directly both of the now so like at that point the number the moment something doing it every day okay even though I'm looking for I mean in that situation where like because you have family or like it is a markets these are country level so the instead of they're not caring about the situation at all they're only seeing that Pikachu the black board kind of a man that's like a lab when they running towards like Pikachu so lab trying out that is like is another level so when the Pikachu at that point not even make single flow against like okay it has not even bottom with that instead like it is just by using that is the shark and like and using like all lot of making is possible like it might be having like that is like like it is just like using its like target alone to like stop okay on the spot um by person towards like it something that they get stopped by that because it's the target I don't like actually getting stopped and something it's only quickly getting beaten by it that is like target alone without it that it make any other it's like the scenario that I'm saying and that way like it which is something so it's like the scenario that I'm saying that being watching what like that's not case that conference in uh, and the hopes of that easily getting to the dominant as is certainly made us very interested. So like after that, like after that, after the quite a few number without the good answer on the corona, it's better for now that I define without revealing that through that fidelity as the love that through and prayer is behind like that so up to that the secrets which certainly won't be to lack the need subject that you don't pray that need like the robot, also remember it may feel to like that when to the of that the need less level for them to like take that alternative to like to the door and think that on the credit to the people for might be the case much things so and of the way like that you might have just wanted to that set up for the subject might have been only like the case might be the case and on so the thing is that you know failure of that growth phase of God like I'm showing up to like relation to the right now. It's like within our without revealing that like the thing is on that kita might not like we at that point like to see that what are the concept and for and not more why that the finally dealing with like this now that I'm doing maybe while support try to support that dealing like it as the most likely provoking software that through that it's still that is with the method of change for the more because like we have to do that but like that it might want to stay to come out like that we and search for and come out that it and for people like that even strong and like the government come out like getting that the data and at that point that you will have that kind of evidence that like in software well, I think we will only uh, feeling confident that apart from the net for something that I didn't at that point at the top of state joining the organization that top state to never think it is good at won't be able to like talk the people that you know they know the end of like that thing or from that thing maybe have something else so that's the reason like so that value to that one of the things of it and then to la source of the whole way of that of that on looking anything is open and it only happens after like doing that automated that way to that and that way to that influence okay into that way to that take up like the idea of the editing and going for organization level study might be along the lines of that maybe like the goal of the study might be definitely much so the blame is for that the advanced of that the answer might having that right the might be roughly to do that the moment that join that organization like like they don't get the organization they might have to like abandon being part of that yeah so this might be less often might be the case being upgraded because like for lifestyle and then to be of the organization you may be like the mindset that will be staying as part of that training and becoming from the grounding of that individual will only independent to potential energy along the lines of lack of ideology of that the leader of this organization to which like the training is the next regular certainly ideology might be like a structural and this might be and this might be very important like exactly the reason like for the certainly like of to that so that is that loyalty to that organization and that to like how much that is can and follow like the head of the like so you're expressing it might be to pull that maybe might be the reason for like maybe in like the past that is could be certainly going to be so that from that to young man that the only other individual that we might don't feel that so that has like wonderful that can get people or like even some kind of get if thrown them the right brain, right? But only have not been really that because they might have had for might have been software and not they don't know to use the base so maybe that might be the result like that from the together and like a software might be the base for the thing it might be very simple stuff like also especially much the time that we are like the folk that I might not just be might know the means like and I'm going to let Jara alone that like Jara might be even really interested to like the target system. That might be the case. But the folk that I might have maybe like about might have help Jara along with the select training and getting Jara elevating Jara might be the case that we might be interested in. And yeah, the spring Jara doesn't like where they want to like taking out a person on this that journey to that point when it might be that it is not the way that the next select the person that it and train and get now about certain strong alone but like also I might you know be seeing that like scenario since that lead commitment might not be a young issue there is something so definitely no I think by the time extremely young individuals might not be the case with me. So like definitely even if lack of gets scenario to that to see that the physical target still by the time Tsunade usually gets home and like he usually has like by then like boss like Doraya to have to train and get the remote unlock the remote for the people that like Doraya to give now remote that's that the replacement for like Tsunade by the time Tsunade have the like level target of that system target of that film space to make Naruto to ensure that Naruto can get but he can like the event of target of like the lead uh, the run at the subject to that replay that league might have been. So that league and to like the proper running so like really due to that is that feeling that Serenity and automated thing that giving eventually giving now the has uh, that saving now into that individual either platform so they to become that eventually become like this propagation of that the league basically might be that have to go give back that right to that the players to that the Portugal the Portugal might be head of the line that Undara might be feeling differently with things. So that may not about the thing about like Zara to that take to this ball and like Zara with the trying towards like the very end of that point Zara journey to find scenario when I'm looking when that Zara would be until that point like I'm looking like the Zara probably tricking Naruto and telling Naruto that like he will teach Naruto yeah, that ultimately, but like I'm like there are only giving this big four for to that Naruto and like now this time Jack Naruto getting broken by Jama like Naruto that and yet like I'm supposed to be towards like the end of their journey and actually making it seriously close to lacerated to Naruto. So Naruto playing like this when I'm the I finally starting to like feel Naruto that ultimate move and the writing words that can be in our channel. And that move also unlike Shirohi, some places like kind of like feel still like considering the whole ultimate move that like Soraya would be facing in our from to the like it just like frame five element kind of like five style kind of like pages that need like so definitely about to begin my presentation that like the source of red chakra so you can correct that reflection item for my be connected to the element of fire and might be connected to like the later file as well. Might be the exposure to this the training. So the clear was bring that is a at what advantage of that red shot run. So the bring that ultimately that there are meeting so that I'm bring for to know use that now because those are but lead to that once again rely on that because that red shot run alone. And I'm so bring like an Indian like plain kind of left to spot under the corner of like the right is that piece that like far superior stronger than like the first getting goes to of like something as well as like the tsunami in the blood case like the tsunami and the big of the right and him. So that about the metric of the different one that alternating to the right to the to are like under the thing Naruto being able to like Naruto while covering like Naruto but like playing to for Naruto like playing to that is Naruto that I'm looking at that like that new like ultimate move that like and Naruto might learn realize that maybe so that then when it was going to go to when it use it, like maybe you know like Naruto is like to the equivalent to that the 11 of strength of like some gifts you know like the meaning of strength. So that way twice like the power of you know like Naruto attaining by that having claimed with his own form Naruto is definitely my really so it's not right. Yes, they have might make a different right now. Yeah, that might be a whole lot stronger. Like Islam, I feel that will get the base, but even like the reason for that Islam failing to election that Saskia all the time this the time that feel by the other Islam was percent so less to like definitely not the Islam is still no feelers like that might be due to Islam having points that's like no longer the levels of point one strategy might be the case. In actuality might be the case, but you know. Okay, so that was name of the right now that that's up with my little friends when I did having all the way back from the people or might have been the case with the and then so they might have within that I might have had like a backup plan to let them know but then might be the case with the name of friends and that backup plan might be like the might be steadily something like the powerful for the makers is within that individuals and learning that forbidden powerful forbidden word attaining that after power that forbidden into and to using that power to bring down static might be along the lines of that they might not see good back up when the center and so they might have had like they might have not relate to like anyone kept it secret from it or might feel that it is something unprotected. So the player was different just might be the reason for like the that person like basically being in some secret location like that might be exactly where like the person role might be and that what might be exactly what like Itachi and Same might be after. And that exact person role might have been what Orochimaru as well might have been ruling after during that battle in like the season battle in like the need to the team and the so like about the Mediterranean, the Shabro Mediterranean still form like the sun gas was into like not right to like to the power of like 3 4 years left about that was it to so funding that was for about the Mediterranean is like the scenario that was so they don't do that because like I consider that with like that plan that which like so they might have has might have been before that so they might have made might have even before so they might have even mentioned Naruto or like Sakura even the practice to that Sakura to the Naruto project Naruto project might have influenced and changed that subject a lot frequently remembered. So like even though Naruto as well had made seems that the freedom needs me that was strong the Naruto and learn like the Dragon Ball to still and about this like actually like how Naruto learn like Naruto to that about all this like Naruto might have reveal to like okay might be so might be the case of human yet like other point like that Naruto might have been changed or fine then that person like Naruto might be totally beyond that like that from act of like Naruto that's using that Naruto just stored in secret that as like something as like a home has that Naruto did might be along the lines as in like Naruto might be being in supplement tradition. Naruto might have told us about this to that subject when during the castle and one of the castle in fighting might be the great supplement tradition. So like what was interaction with like Naruto might also be influenced that subject might have created like self-doubt within subject as to that something to that subject like secret what might be the fundamental subject secret strategy whether it also the data right for maybe along the line was that that question set down and question that might arrive within certain might be that is the one made happen during that during the certainly not principle number showing all this productivity in like said like totally change that because yeah for that like I'm putting right now person that okay not using not relying on like not setting the rope and frequently trying to like see that confidence so or people rely on that power of that political sport to bring down that lagging so like out there that things that go and like out there without accessing the power of that ball like the taking that ball and the straight away running towards that gun steady and present the field was second again the trying to that bring down that he using the source power okay, decided to actually episode for and basically attempting to left bring down Delhi. Might be along the lines of that, but we're feeling more confident that we might be able to left bring down Delhi. Usually we believe in the self, done himself, but it's like a level point might be along the line. So they really feeling and coming out of the competition of and then sleep that way like okay, going towards the can get as you see. By the time it achieve now, it is a idea and like okay, attempting to that take it as you want to let off this for and at that point I'm just saying then okay that lesson that I'm getting easily related by judging without even it actually not even not the simple mode that the scenario that I'm zero with today. Please so that being a friend and right now outside like that. But I think that's probably even why being aware that how we can be more or like it that in the skill might be heavily underestimated that it has reached that when compared to that sort of amount of question I see that that would definitely maybe the reason for that can actually in the recent past that being so losing was like confident being so afraid that by just let the sense of like in the person of like for the amount of so I the very same Kakashi and even while there's like Utami as well, along with like the powerful that we have, but it's still going to the extent of that even daring to like take Itachi on in a battle might be due to that that we heavily still underestimating Itachi's that levels of strength when compared to the American management might be like the actual big of like the reason and the cases like about the director about it. So that Liam might have been right now that like might have been more similar in that system that might have taken out that Obito might be that case. That might be that the reason for that here within that country so in that even like the picture of like of the model when compared to like that that we might be services that we are talking to that which is so that's what they meant to them right now that naturally maybe that the plant might not be like the strong than most pure plant that be much better in that there might be other unrevealed plants out there in the world in that in that when compared to that so it's like the entire like the world of like so now finding that there might be other unrevealed plants that might be far from a plant with your plant that might be unrevealed so that it might lead to that and that comes from a plant with your plant to be friendly. So it might lead to that it has this lack of that exposure that might be the reason for like it actually has that belief that particular plant is like this constant from here. Uh, might be like the activity of the case like a possibility that yeah. Also, one of the information that still the information that like that it might end up be having that supplement of that it might be like step lead that the design to return to that to the trigger can do like the display with that which like entire organization and that is down with like the leader of the organization for like that as part of like that entire organization creative organization to that to embed that regulation, try to do that regulation and basically is the way or might be that problem, or might be that the actuality of that the solution of that then might be the base of element. So that Liam is pointing that last thing that you might be wanting might be to like the fact that stability of damage. So that Liam is pointing that the current battle against like so against like a batting Suranite and the one of those people think for actually that we see not down taking out night of Kakashi, not Azuma, you know, Suranite. It's that the scenario that happens. That never the bring like that is it might be only to that's like the scenario that I'm giving. It's that is showing that bring out the front and bit more of that the show and come back even though I'm putting for the game part of the guys who help us bring like there's even out a bit more of it to solely to that integrate like that I be Uranite as well as Azuma and make the realize like that screen gap in between like the levels of that they are so that like to generate to like give them the warning to like keep silent about like regarding as well as like to comment like person in current person like the liquidate with such a warning and like to and they don't feel remain silent about it lecture would be or it might be along the lines of like that we do tell uh the chair can actually coordinate so that's what the Mahan like that we make it far too obvious that like the gap between the spine is like far too great is like the scenario that I'm looking at that way like I think silently leaving is like the scenario it's a scenario that I'm in that way like I was putting like neither Kakashi neither Kakashi nor Kuralai nor Suma nor even Sasuke which is so like before Kakashi was really like an the brains of Jenny in there right so neither of the these that so the thing that person that going through any good sort of any serious thing is like this now that the way the so that another parameter that might be maybe that spin or function politically in thinking along the lines of certain language, even if strategy that's strategy then strategy is in fact looking for something like the replace uh, selling that in a vague manner like neither Kakashi nor anyone in electrical plate might be a selecting point what exactly that is that looking for within electrical plate to pinpoint it to select the progress process both within electrical plate according to my opinion, might be the case. Might be along the lines of that same or context that we might be having. But that's only one of the another. The another for like maybe it might have been that you could split off and that it might have gone to the extent of that even revealing that that is like looking for something within that today. capabilities that these might bring. So that it might be either of these two cases. If it actually even saying that either might be the case that may bring. So yes, so that the human friends are very much that that is that might be already blocking so we will have to integrate that I think as well as that as well as that so might be that country which is something that is that can be so we might be easily like suffered by like the leader of the organization who's like it belongs to that. He might be that's the leader because not just because of his like what might be the his like brilliant for like he might be the response to like the like the numbers of like the or everything that the leader himself might be the response that's why he might know he might be easily able to like bypass that the general severity of that like Italy, and that might be the reason for like him even being able to like remain and like the new like the organization might be like the actually who is like Italy, so might be like the actual situation my personal right. So that for the member that the player protection there may be multiple secret other ways of like bypassing that second to severely jargon of like Italy might see that that's the case the movement for the might like and so depend one of those ways maybe for like an individual to have for the like the skills and training to upskill this like create this like sense of all the other sense of part on the side to such extreme superior high levels to that it has been so that that's why even like the high shows that individuals would be able to find here that way to like face that and like take on like the can use so to clear the powers of like that and still of be able to like certainly even by giving the ice is that be able to like that we can each and every single moment of like it has so that's to heighten up all the other things so that level might be another way to like fight off like it has into that if it was 50 might be the age that so that may not redemption right now for that. By the time 72 hours will let the changes to react to be passing that for having a composite feel that reacting that the real world that in only a few minutes might be passing and by the time that even wakes up out of that the changes of that studio and so the thing that work is on as well as that would have left with the might be so that my coaching very unfortunate right now is for that even in the scenario to be for the up like it at the end of the time definitely like Kakashi and Arjuna and Kurana and would be about to like exit from like the league because that will last second is when I'm discovering that okay so like most likely confront it as like still in the scenario that all alone by himself just being the scenario that was against and right now so that that's like my theory understand that limiting of like the right to like not or not percent to like not that Naruto in that the right theory like I'm focusing like the right potential to like not or acknowledge that Naruto's like ending battle and defeat of like it's like stages and all that I'm going to be putting in the trail and my theory understand that like the right might have sense such a possibility and like about remembering about like during that had recent battle in that the village that involving the capability preparation at White Star for the was like saying on for tomorrow that might have been like studied before like not helping out like South Korea or like trying to like now for tomorrow it might have been luckily for that they maybe to lecture I am gently being present close to like the Naruto with the whole time while Naruto like abandoned and all throughout like from like the moment like the battle to moment like the chapter quickly began from that to next itself like at that point so the Raya might have been speaking to stealthily might have been speaking close to that Naruto one might have been guarding stealthily guarding Naruto might have been like the case that we might be very intentional by then. Yes, so like being right now that the absolute absence of nature in that the reason that it can happen in that in the specifically like might have been due to that your most likely fearing that the possibility of that with exact organization to which it that belongs to like coming after like now from the lag that is given to me. So like that way like Jiraiya might have steadily stopped and witnessed that the entire feat of that Saga was Naruto gathered and that Jiraiya might have felt proud of that Naruto's achievements. So that meaning friends might have that it might not be Naruto alone, but that they might be also from that second and from the which might be from the like as well that Apple might be equally the same priority for that Apple might that from that to see from that it might see that capture the base of the so that we are looking right now maybe it might have been a strategy and that it might have been that it has been consciously revealing about the feeling after that Naruto Kakashi so that like they would focus all of the focus of the league some ninjas would be want Naruto and protect Naruto so that like we could take advantage of that expansion to that for that Akatsuki to like eventually once they will be planning on their even the preparation to like let's for them to like split up and they should take full advantage of certain strikes that they to seize that support of the force to create like a total confusion within like the league and to take advantage of that for confusion to the form of and Naruto at that point might be along the lines of that actual truth extent of like the plan of that the Akatsuki might be technical breaking. So like Naruto the might have also been Naruto might be only the spark of like that for like plan and that for like force and could have what they might be seeing for the things like the inflation might be like that the case the yes, so that the human trend right now is that Akatsuki developed the collapse that developers that what might have been that Peter plans the collapse that they might have later for tomorrow to steadily that he might have wanted that the leader of man that Itachi quite or tomorrow might also that one of the member of the Akatsuki that that point that according to that plan secret plan that Itachi might have really casually revealed about like something might have been what might have happened to the and before like joining that Akatsuki that Orochimaru might have had like battle against like Itachi or like Orochimaru might have personally lost and like Orochimaru's pride and ego might have been by Itachi might have been what might have happened to the field might have been then like Orochimaru like natural purpose might have been to like to venture on Tebu to surpass Itachi and defeat and bring Itachi might have been that definitely not strength and Orochimaru had might have had like an obsession while being present I'd like a member of me that actually might have been the case of with the information that like the leader of like that actually might have read that or Kumar is like so dependable that like was not fitting to the with like reliable and it's not fitting to the that a member of that actually so like actually a different like that we that's a leader might have put on the order to that to that and trying for tomorrow into that basically that we might know details about like casually might have talked about tomorrow and talk to tomorrow about like okay and like for giving sort of that way that giving that just putting in that open information of like sharing and existing out there and tomorrow might have had like the power that 40% power like even that sense of name of revenue. So like constantly that they might have certain that information of that for tomorrow in such a in such a steady and natural man negative or when the being of a and when the object that they might have put in things of that or might have put in the information of that but the powerful component or containing powerful containing for the data that this might have been they might have both from the part of the technology knowledge from Naruto. That might have been what might have happened with the Venom trend. So even back then, like the Akatsuki might have had such like I set on the board on the target of that skill of the commanded of that particular skill of commanded of the Venom trend. So that way, like Orochimaru, while since then might have been straight away of that assumption that basically that the sharing attaining that the sharing and that sharing and like far superior to anything else that coupled with like economic attaining that the performance was regulating this might make Orochimaru not a stronger plan with IT but also stronger plan even the failures of the Akatsuki might be an authorized like Orochimaru might have probably got thinking might have been into field Orochimaru himself ending up coming to like such a conclusion might have been what might have happened with the film and the so that way this might be the reason for like Orochimaru in like the second phase of like the forest second phase of like the film exam uh, having been in like the presence of like Naruto as well as subject and still Orochimaru having only prioritized like subject alone and even though at that point like Orochimaru had the chance Orochimaru had the chance like Orochimaru like figure strength to that they possibly take away that Naruto as well as that subject from like the and escape out of like when he said even way back then during like the first second phase of the mission itself that Orochimaru doing that and instead Orochimaru prioritized the subject taking a role of like subject as well as like well, like Optimal still sticking around it actually like might have been definitely due to that Optimal lack Optimal goal might be more likely and I with lack of for lazy that taking away the object as well as like stealing from land support the person that produces might be like that with the game and pyramid. So like Optimal fact that might have even though the person might be under like example so that will be that the 90 was still looking like now in trying to select nowhere only are comparable to that the full potential of like the sharing it, which might not be not be the case in particular one correct. There like or tomorrow might be number such and definitely might have put in that at the leader of that Akatsuki might have been to such that and that man might have been putting over tomorrow into that has or tomorrow easily more again like the deep face and like take on the lakhs of so then like in that process like basically the leader might have that in that of like Zarkobin or Timaru the certain like Zarkobin either getting swimming weak or like through that matter or like Timaru ending up taking off Zarkobin but like exactly what Timaru going through major one became deal with attending that. So that in that thing he might have been like somewhat superior when I was like more likely that he like threatening for Timaru so that the actions of that body intellectually playing that Akatsuki to like eventually infiltrate into intellectually place and basically focus on the two main targets which might be like the popular sports as well as like Naruto. Might be like the great friendly game. Yes, that's the name of the reason right now for that Jiraiya, for the directly Jiraiya that I'm trying to be stopping Kisame from taking out that Tsuranite and Asuna that doesn't out that under the body. So that right now, from different for like Jiraiya kind of happening. And I don't want like when we have those like even out that I'm the other thing. So, and definitely I was bring at that point that it be like, so finding out about like and because like at the moment lecture I always going under just like I'm the different like along with lecture I have for the zone 11 ninja front like the replace all of them that has to be only thing that's showing up like now that up to the battle of it like now that I'm the the lecture like in such a situation like I'm only like because we being unable to like fulfill the intent of like take international like now that I'm the so you're preventing Giant for the opportunity with perfect like preventing the idea to come in from doing that effect in another direction. So like and for the because he only at that point, resurrecting at that point, feeling silly for that feeling what might have been getting more not for feeling like it as when it's revealing to like a country that it has just looking about something in like the detail with the D minus 300. So like in a stage of it like at that point along with like telling Isame to that like they have to leave right now and basically it has to come and straight away leave like scenario being like scenario that I'm because of the framework. The younger friend was like we want like the end to come and the other phone back to like the Akatsuki like at that point of the younger friend that it has revealing, not hiding anything else, revealing the truth, updates and situation like that, so, like everything that happened at like the league and at that point of definitely like the beer was like that actually to be totally strong to that with the idea when the scenario that I'm doing and like the beer feeling it as that like before since like due to the trouble it has been for like basically before like the league they can properly prepare for like and individual infiltration to the next by the Akatsuki before they will get signed to like because they have signed to like properly prepare for like the Akatsuki has to like make their move and fight to like seize from Naruto and the public from the police base. This along the lines unbroken thing for like the leader of the Akatsuki at that point, telling to the Akatsuki members that one possibility that or like a different like to what might be definitely a proven like that they might have been a stuff quickly with like Akatsuki like pinpointing like the name of the organization and Akatsuki that they are like it every like to my beginning as like from the lead like up to this is the clean and brain but to that they are to just stuff to doing like and maybe one like that and I mean like, because we are done report going back and reporting to like the last clear of that going like deciding to like postpone and like the inspiration to like the leverage of like the related thing and all the lines of like maybe the leverage just might have already started like the so we started like the operation for like inspiration by the Akatsuki. So definitely instead of looking that an inspiration while celebrating like the first state like this lead for Akatsuki to like wait for like a better opportunity at a later point when like the liquidation will be having their guard down to be along the lines that like the decision of like the deal of like that has to be like the scenario that I'm leaning more to right now, the beginning of frame.